Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be turning dragons into humans. I'm going to be doing the first arc, so Clay, Tsunami, Glory, and Starlight and Sunny. And let me know if you want a part 3 with the other two arcs. So, first I have Clay. I'm not great at drawing mudwings. They're the tribe I definitely struggle the most with because they're so blocky, and I usually draw thinner or more slender dragons. And he has a pretty simple color palette, just 3 color. So I think I did pretty well on him though. But I definitely struggled a lot with matching his colors up in the beginning. And I feel like I did the liner a little too thick, as I usually do it thinner. And for this video, I had a lot of thick liner because I'm using a new platform and I'm kind of struggling getting the right line art width with it. So I wanted to color all the lines on this drawing, and for the most part I did the darker variation of their most prominent color, like brown for Clay since he's a mudwing. And I think I did dark blue for Tsunami and dark tealish for Glory, and then a brown for Sunny again. So I made his skin the color of his horns and his spikes, and then his hair a little darker because I didn't really have anything to base it off of on his dragon color palette since there's nothing darker than his spikes. And then his shirt is just his belly because I feel like that's kind of where a shirt would be on a dragon. And I was with highlighting trying to go a little warmer and more golden in color because it's said when he goes into the sun he reflects golden light often. And for Clay, I kind of tried to give him a simple design again because he is a mudwing, and well, his design is pretty simple, but I feel like his human version isn't as complex as it could be. I didn't really know what designs to put on his shirt, so I left it blank. And that's Clay. I realize now I forgot to color his name. Next we have Tsunami. I'm actually pretty happy with how her design turned out, and I think I kind of incorporated her colors correctly, although her face seems a little too light. And her horns could be a little lighter because they're kind of darker than the line art. And I completely realized that I forgot to color the background before doing the colors of the dragon, so that was a little difficult, but I managed to get around it. And for Tsunami, I know she's a little larger than some of the dragonettes, but I felt like as a human, she would be the short and feisty type. And I kind of tried to have her shirt be sort of armor, and it didn't really give off that effect, but I definitely think it looks like her belly. And I feel like she would be a warrior or just some kind of fighter if she was a human. And I feel like I incorporated her colors pretty well with her horns being hair, because I feel like dragon horns are the closest thing they have to hair. And I like how her shirt turned out, and I think her skin color was a little difficult because I kind of am trying to match the skin color to the dragons, but that's a little hard, especially if you have a blue dragon. I don't really know how her shirt would be glowing, but I'm just gonna go with it because I wanted her light up scales on her stomach to be glowing, and I just thought it looked really nice even on her shirt. So I put that in as well. And I definitely think she would be very strong, maybe do karate or something. And that's Tsunami. I hope you guys like it. I really like how this design turned out, and it's not my favorite, but it's definitely up there. And after Tsunami, we have Glory. Glory was definitely my favorite design. Her liner was, for one thing, a lot thinner, and Glory just has a lot more intricate design and a lot more colors to work with. And I know it's not canon and she doesn't technically have a flower crown, but I just really loved how it looked and I wanted to add it because I feel like in the rainforest, as Rainbow Queen, she would definitely wear a lot of those. And I did the line art drawing, but it didn't save for Clay, Tsunami, and Glory, so I just decided to, in speed paint terms, and just do the painting part of it. And that definitely made the video a lot shorter because it's already going to be pretty long. For her hair, I wanted to have it a little darker because I didn't want her to have completely colored hair, but I did want her to have some highlights. And at first I tried doing stripes and that didn't work, so I tried doing them up and down. And I really love how this turned out. I think it gave her hair a lot more personality, and I think Glory would be the type to dye her hair. And then again, I struggled with the skin color because I wanted it to kind of be like green, but that really didn't work, as a green person looks pretty weird. And then I really like how her highlighting turned out. It could have been a little smoother, but I think it gave this nice effect, and it was definitely very vivid. So I don't know if you can see, but the lines are colored a little bit. They're purplish blue, so they're still dark blue, but a little more on the purple side, if that makes any sense. And I just had a lot of highlights with all the colors, and I think it turned out really well. Her ruff is pretty small, but I like her design overall. And then I had freckles on her face, as well as Tsunami's is the markings on her face. And I was going to do glasses, but it didn't really work. And then on to Starflight. Starflight is not my least favorite design, but he's not my favorite. I like his dragon portion, which I struggled with a lot on the line art, but his human version doesn't look the best. And for the backgrounds, I think yellow was probably the wrong color for him. It's a little too warm, and it just doesn't really fit his hue and his coloration. I had buttons down his shirt as kind of the little circle line that they have down their belly, as kind of like Tsunami's, to just add that little thing in their shirt to make it more appealing. And I colored the buttons wrong multiple times. I had to redraw them a lot during the shading. But I probably struggled the most with his skin tone because I feel like it didn't really make sense to have it gray, but I definitely wanted it pale because to have it kind of like his stomach, and his hair was going to be black like his, not like his ruff because that would look weird, but the top of his head. And then I definitely think I made his skin tone a little too warm, and I feel like he's still very pale though, and if I could go back, I would make it a little cooler, but also less pale. And he was a pretty quick design, and again, his line art was way too thick. And for his lines, I made them black because I know I was coloring all the lines, but I feel like his would be colored that just since he's a Nightwing. And then that's Starflight. I really like how his name turned out. And I feel like his dragon's very well, but his human could be better. And then Sunny. Sunny is the last, and I really like how her expression is. I think it's very Sunny-esque. And her background color pink because I feel like if Sunny was a human, she would just be obsessed with pink and wear all pink all the time. Except, of course, her shirt has to be colored as her dragon because I want it to look like her. And her horns and her overall coloring, I think, turned out pretty close to how her colors are on the wiki. And I think probably the best out of all of them, except maybe Clay. And then her skin tone I really like because I feel like it was also a lot easier to get good skin tone for Sandwing, especially since she's really golden. So I just made it a little warmer, and that worked really well. And her lines are probably the thickest. As I went into this video, I just made lines thicker and thicker. But I think her hairdo, I tried to have it kind of like her ruff. And at first I had the lines, but that didn't really work. It looked a little weird, so I took them out. But I think her hair looks pretty good. And Sandwing Ruff already looks kind of like hair. But she was definitely the quickest, and she was a little rushed because I had to get this video out. It's already a little late. But I think her design turned out okay. And then she definitely has a very happy expression compared to everyone else. And I feel like her personality would just be very Sunny in general if she was a human, and she would probably be that one who has like So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Also, I am going to be posting every day for the whole week, and then every week, in case you're wondering. Bye!